Hey, I just wanted to talk to you guys super quick. Again, sorry about using the room light, but I'm recording this somewhat late at night. It's like 1 a.m., something like that. And, I'm a pretty busy guy, so I can't always stop dead in the middle of what I'm doing to just get a video recorded. So I had to wait until I had a chance to do it. First bit of news, Avengers Endgame has surpassed Avatar as the top grossing movie of all time, and that makes me very happy because I love that movie. It's probably my favorite this year so far. If not that, then Rocket Man. And second bit of news, at San Diego Comic Con, Marvel was presenting today, and they unveiled Phase 4. And it's interesting that, at least from what I can tell, there's no Avengers movie here. There's no New Avengers, Next Avengers, Secret Avengers, Dark Avengers, none of that. Not a single bit of it to be seen, and I think that's probably for the better. I mean, the world knows the Avengers as most of who you see here, Captain America, Iron Man, well, that's Iron Patriot, Thor, whatever the case may be, and those guys just aren't going to be there anymore. So, definitely for the better that they decided to omit an Avengers movie from this lineup. And I'm looking at a picture of it right now. That's how I can remember everything that's there. It looks like we have 11 items. It's a mix of TV shows and movies, and that's pretty interesting. But one of the things that strikes me is, you know what? I'll get to it when I'm there. I'm going to start with Black Widow. Very excited for this movie. Love Scarlett Johansson, and this is pretty much our farewell to her. Like, yeah, we say goodbye to her in Avengers Endgame, but here is the last movie she's in, and in this movie, I'm pretty sure she's not going to die, because she doesn't die until 2023 chronologically. And Taskmaster's going to be the villain, and David Harbour's playing the Red Guardian. There's just a lot to be excited about for this movie, and I'm going to miss Scarlett when she is gone. Also, I'm wearing an Attack on Titan hat. Next is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, denoted with a Captain America shield there. Nice little nod to the fact that Falcon is Captain America now. I'm very excited about that. I'm great at speaking. I really don't know what to expect here because, honestly, as far as the comics go, I'm not a huge fan of Falcon as Winter Soldier, and it's not because, black characters or whatever. I think Falcon is a functional character on his own, and does not need to be Captain America in order to be relevant. That's just how I feel. Winter Soldier, I mean, who doesn't love Bucky and Sebastian Stan to absolute pieces? So we'll see what we get out of that. Now, Eternals is where I really start getting a little dicey because despite the fact that I am probably the resident expert on comics, I shouldn't say that. I know a lot about the comics. I've read a lot of the comics, and I keep up to date on my Googleini neck. See, I have like a double chin, but not... whatever. I don't know anything about the Eternals. I don't know a single thing. I've never read it. I've never seen anything about it. I have no clue who they are, what they're about, what they do, who they fight. I don't know anything. I don't even know who's in this movie outside of Angelina Jolie. I know they reported the cast. I didn't look at it. I don't want to know anything until they want me to. Well, I guess they want me to know now, but whatever. So... not much to say about that. Just gonna move on. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Shang-Chi other than he taught Spider-Man how to fight. That's it. I think Marvel is trying to crack into some of that Asian money, and that's probably a great market, great way to do that. I don't want this movie, though, to end up being like the token Asian character movie, you know what I mean? I want it to be meaningful, like I want it to actually be rooted in Chinese culture, but we will see what we get with that. The thing that I find interesting about The Legend of the Ten Rings, first of all, it's a bad title. That's too many words. Could have called it Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, but that obviously is referring to the Makluan rings, Mandarin, Iron Man's arch nemesis, the one that was done horribly dirty in Iron Man 3. But they said that the real Mandarin is out there somewhere. We were sure we were never going to end up seeing him. But this clearly means that we are going to see him. And I feel like that's very interesting because I don't know Shang-Chi very well. I don't know if he has his own villains. But, I mean, Mandarin is Chinese. Shang-Chi is Chinese. That's going to sound very racist when you hear it, but it just makes sense to bring that together, I guess. If you can naturally make that story work, I feel like that's a very good idea. I really hope I don't get a lot of heat for that comment there. Then you got the show WandaVision. Another terrible title. WandaVision. Vision's dead. So this would have to be like the adventures that they went on between Civil War and Infinity War. There's no other way, because Vision did not come back. No alternate version of Vision showed up from a different timeline in Endgame. Vision's dead. The Infinity Stone that was in his head has been destroyed. The only other feasible explanation is maybe they were able to revive his body. You know, they stuck a jumper cable on him and shocked him back to life. I don't see any other way, though. They need something to power the stone. They needed something to power the shell, the body that Vision had. And short of an Infinity Stone, I don't know how they're supposed to do that. But we will see. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You don't have to put multiverse in the title. That's the third bad title in a row as well. I'm a little upset about it. Now, I'm extraordinarily excited about another Doctor Strange movie. I've already talked about it to high heaven. I don't need to go over it again here. But apparently, Scarlet Witch, Wanda from WandaVision, is supposed to be in this movie. So maybe WandaVision is required watching before you see Multiverse of Madness. I hope not. I would like to just watch Multiverse of Madness and understand what's going on its own. But we'll see what happens. Now, this can mean a lot of things. This can mean that he could be fighting Nightmare. He could be fighting an alternate like Baron Mordo or whatever. I'm not going to speculate a single thing based on that title. I'm just hype levels maximum. I mean, it's got to be. You know I love Doctor Strange, right? You understand that about me? Perfect. Loki, the third show. The logo is very ugly. It's in 4 different letter types, which maybe that's supposed to be representative of how he's like moving from world to world, and that's like the premise of the show is his adventures in Wonderland and then adventures in Tatooine and then adventures here or whatever. He's gonna be constantly mobile, and that's the theme of the show is that he's whatever. It's like 007, the series, I suppose. I think that's kind of interesting because it's gonna be the Loki that we said goodbye to last year and this Loki are 2 different Lokis, because this Loki has not gone through the events of Dark World and Ragnarok and Infinity War and become a resentful person and looked for forgiveness and redemption and become a bit of a hero before dying in the most noble way possible, trying to defeat Thanos. So this is just straight up evil Loki, still bent on world domination, angry that he lost, very much entitled. So I would love to see some more of that out of Tom Hiddleston. It's been a while. What If is the 4th show here. Very excited about that. Because if you don't know, What If it was a comic line in the 90s where it would ask, what if Spider-Man still had 6 arms? What if this happened to that character? What if that happened to that character? And I imagine it's going to be an anthology show. Every episode is going to be about something very different. I have heard that the pilot is supposed to be what if Peggy Carter became the Winter Soldier instead of Chris Evans, instead of Steve Rogers. So she's going to be becoming Captain America, I assume. And Steve Rogers will be like a supporting character. So I think that's the last thing Chris Evans is going to do as far as the MCU before he starts directing. So I'm very excited to see what that could end up being. 5th show, Hawkeye. That's the one I'm the literal most interested in. Hawkeye has been getting a bit of the short stick in the MCU lately. He's only been in the Avengers movies, 3 of them, and in Captain America Civil War. His appearance in Thor doesn't matter. It's a cameo. I didn't even realize it was him when I was a kid. So, whatever. But I'm very interested to see what stories they can tell with them. They're supposed to be introducing Kate Bishop. I can't get my hair right. And if you don't know about Kate Bishop, she's the girl that took over as Hawkeye when Barton stopped being Hawkeye. So I imagine that at some point the show will change protagonists in like JoJo nature and go from being about Clint to being about Kate. So we'll see what all happens there. Maybe they'll do Old Man Hawkeye at some point. Now for the last terrible title, Thor, Love and Thunder. It looks very 70s. And this movie's going to be directed by Taika Waititi again, and Valkyrie's gonna be gay on screen. I don't care about any of that. What I care about is Natalie Portman is returning as Jane Foster, and apparently she's gonna be Thor in the movie. I don't know if she's gonna be Thor the whole movie or if it's gonna end with Hemsworth Thor passing the mantle of Thor down to Jane. I don't really know what to expect from that, but I don't expect to like it because, surprisingly enough, I didn't really much care for Thor Ragnarok, and this just gives me the same vibes that movie gave me, but I'm even less hopeful now than I was 2 years ago. And honestly, I kind of wish Thor's story had ended at Endgame, but you got to keep the actors happy, I suppose. We'll see what we get out of this, and if it's good, fantastic. If it's bad, told you. I told you so. Now, the one that's the most intriguing, I suppose, Blade. It's a movie, not a show, starring Mahershala Ali, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I'm not overly familiar with his work. I saw him in The Green Book, and I saw him in Alita Battle Angel, and I heard him in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Looking at him, he definitely gives off the vibe that he could play Blade. I'm very interested to see what he brings to the table. I think he could be just as good, if not better, in the role than Wesley Snipes. So the thing that I'm very curious about is this movie going to be rated R? Because Black Widow is rumored to be rated R, but it's not. It's PG-13. But Blade has to be. I really feel like it has to be. And I feel like it's possible because Marvel have already said that they're not going to tone back Deadpool 3. That's going to be full rated R. So if they're going to do that rated R to do it properly, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't make Blade rated R so that they could do that character and that atmosphere justice. But we will see what happens as time moves closer to its release. Now, all of this is a lot to take in. Obviously, there's a whole lot of stuff, and it's going to be over like the next 2 years. I'm a little worried about Thor, Loki, WandaVision, Eternals, and Shang-Chi, because they're the ones that I don't have super high hopes, but we will, I think I already said Eternals, but I'm not going to cast judgment yet because there's nothing to cast judgment based on. So what I will do is ask you, what out of what I talked about are you the most interested in or excited to see, or do you think is going to be good, or do you think is going to be bad? Tell me whatever it is, whatever you think in the comments, and educate me, because you could always stand to learn more no matter how much you think you know. And I will see you all in the next video that I upload.